Let's try to get
Okay, welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Steve.
Hi,
I'm
everybody.
here with extra people.
Extra people. You didn't even tell Bairnt and Colin that you were starting this. You just went.
I.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So, hi, everybody.
Hi. Hello.
Go ahead, Steve.
Hi. Okay, so we are here to do a chat of the game of the years. So we're going to do an end of the year chat talking about 2021, the best of the best, and maybe the disappointed of the 2021 as well. So welcome. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, his green screen
The
just
aliens
tanked
in the background.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Nothing to say. Oh, that's wonderful. It's just because it's aliens. Oh my god.
Steve, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Normally I see you on Saturdays. It's nice to actually see you on a day that's not Saturday and having a good chat.
That's right.
Yep.
Yes, no. Fitting like Colin's in the forest on an adventure, Bairnt's in the dungeon crawling. Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
points,
about right.
and we can figure out what each of these IPs behind us are. So we did different ones. So
Mhm.
Yeah, if I can get mine to work.
I think they all know which one is yours, Baird.
The one that's falling to pieces?
Yes, a little bit. That's okay.
We're good.
excellent.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's dive into. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do kind of a round robin. We're gonna talk about a category, and each person talk about what they picked for that category. And at the end of it, I did send out a poll to our viewers, and they responded with their votes. And so we'll go over that at the end after each category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So, game of the year for 2021, right? You have some caveats. So, when we get there, you're going to explain that, right?
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
There's caveats.
There's always caveats.
Always caveats.
Always. House ruling.
How's
In,
it
in
House rules
each
life.
category, I picked the 7 games that I'm going to talk about. You didn't know that?
Oh, I forgot. This is a 5-hour stream.
It's 5.5 hours long. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Twisted J.
Yeah.
Welcome. Glad you made it. Okay, let's start with the first category. Looking at games that not released 2021, but looking at games we played in 2021 that were older. Talk about our favorite revisit.
So, not even a 2021 game. Let's start.
Let's start. Yes.
Okay.
So I'll have let's have Bairnt go first. So Bairnt.
The one who did the category wrong. All right, that'll be great.
Perfect.
That's great. I thought this was like a game that like had been revisited, like in the like somebody brought back a way of playing it, or it like was an expansion for it, or something like that. But anyway, I put out the 3rd edition of Machina Arcana because it's the new edition that just came out of this. Because they've had previous editions before, so that was what I put on my list. But there are a lot of other fun games I played this week or this year. I got to play XCOM with Colin, which was a blast. I forgot how fun that game was. That would probably be one I'd put on this list. But Machina Arcana has always been one of my favorite games, and I got to play it again this year. I've been playing it almost every year since I've got the 2nd edition copy of it. And the 3rd one is coming to everybody soon, and I've been gracious enough to be able to play it right already, and it was an absolute blast, as usual. And they got the new expansion actually adds a new way of playing, which is really cool.
I have not played this one. I need to get this one played at some point.
I haven't. Well, it's funny because Steve showed me your guys' list, and I'm like, I haven't experienced any of that. So it's like we're getting a spectrum here. So, yeah.
I have played it, and I'm really glad that Bairnt enjoys it. I'll just put it that way.
That's my favorite Colin. That's my favorite Colinism.
I'm so glad that Bairnt enjoys it.
Such a good friend. I'm
Yeah,
happy
you
you're
know-
happy.
Exactly. I'm happy that he's happy and he owns the copies and I don't.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on. So let's go down the list here. Colin, what's your favorite
Yeah.
revisit?
So I have one absolute favorite. So what I actually did is I looked back at my list of games that I played that didn't come out in 2021. And one of the ones that I played the most this year is actually Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. And I've played that with my son, my 8-year-old son, Connor. We've done 2 of the entire campaigns together, each of us controlling 2 heroes, and it's been awesome. With the expansion And I'm really excited for the final expansion that's coming out. I can't wait for that one. But even just with the expansion, it provided so many more classes to the game. And you have that nice slow level up, which is really good for him because he can learn the cards. Because it is not dice rolling, it's card flipping. And at first I was a little concerned he wouldn't like that. But he actually really loves the flipping the cards and trying to see the success symbols. And I've gotten him to really enjoy Lord of the Rings as a theme, even though he hasn't seen the movies yet. We'll get there. I think he'd get too scared. But it's that's one that just keeps coming back to the table for my son and I. So that's my main one. I am playing Pandemic Legacy with Bairnt right now, and that's another one that I absolutely love. Oh, did you?
My
Yeah.
green screen's out of control.
Oh, there we go.
I've got this like makeshift green screen that is out of control over here.
Yep.
So that was one of my other call-outs, was that I was just loving replaying Pandemic Legacy for the 4th time, but this time it's with Bairnt and Brent.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That one I should put on my list
Yeah,
too.
you could have put that.
I
on
should
your
have put that on the list. Huh?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, is
No, it's actually watching an icon.
Is that season 1 that you're replaying, or are you doing like other seasons as you're going through it?
No, so we're doing the whole thing. We just finished season 1. We just started season 2, and then after that we'll go to season 0. So we're doing the whole set together.
Awesome.
Yeah, and my wife's playing with me, and this is her 4th time playing it too, and she's still loving it. So yeah, that's got to say something about it.
I'd just like to go on the record and state that this is again every time we do this end of the year thing, I don't understand it. Last year was Hidden Gem, and I picked like what I picked. I picked like one of Awakened Realms games, like this huge, like multi-million-dollar game.
It's very hidden. That no one knows. No one knows about it.
Understand the category.
It's okay. We'll just have to next time. I'll walk you through the
That'd be
top
good.
categories.
Huge go walk me through.
Give you even some examples. You know. Okay.
I support
all right.
that. I
All right,
support
got
those
it.
examples.
We're good. We're good now.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, squared away.
Squared away. Okay, so let's move on to Kim. Let's talk about your favorite game you revisited.
I don't remember what I wrote down, but we'll see.
Let me help you out.
Just reveal it, and it will be a
Reveal
surprise
it.
to everybody.
Okay, here we go.
He's gonna reveal it. Ta-da!
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, favorite revisits. I always love playing this game with Steve. We'll stream this often. It's just a blast, and everything's still kind of fresh because you get new characters. So
Yeah, Street Masters is awesome. I love playing this one. I consider it as a revisit, but I feel like I played enough where it's not a revisit because I'm just constantly playing it.
well, for me, it's more so because you know I don't want to say you roped me more into streaming with you, but it's kind of what happened. So I'm playing more games with you because of it, and yeah, so we would bring this one to the table.
Yeah, for sure. That was a really good one.
As a Colonism would be, I'm really excited that you are so happy for this game, and I'm really glad that you enjoy it. Mine's super sold.
So is mine.
man.
Actually, mine is with Steve. I think
Oh,
I
that's
gave
right.
you Steve. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that makes me happy. That makes me
He
happy.
went to a good
See?
home.
I know,
Happy,
and
yeah.
Kim loved it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we love that game. Yeah, excellent. So yeah, that was your game of the year.
Now there were several other. This was a
Game of
hard
the
one
year.
to pick. I will say that.
That was a tough one. In fact, I think when I get into mine, we'll agree on some of them.
Yes.
So yeah, we there was another one we both had as an honorary pick, which I know is a game that a lot of people don't like, but we had a blast
This
playing.
is for us.
This for us was Reichbusters. Like we came back, they sent out the the errata for it. So we decided to revisit with the errata and just play the whole campaign again. And it's got its warts for sure. But oh man, we had a lot of fun with that one.
That was a blast.
It was so much fun. But yeah, that was as much fun that was. It wasn't my favorite revisit. My favorite revisit was Sword and Sorcery, actually, because we got the new stuff and we decided to combine it all into one big game, and it was fun to like explore the changes to the game and replay an old campaign with the new rules and new characters and just seeing how it changed. And I still haven't wooed you in that game. We don't have a relationship in that game, so that's more my goals.
That's what you're talking about. I was like, okay, yeah, no. Anytime you try to like set your relationship with your counterpart, yeah, no, we're not together.
No, not.
You know,
Yeah,
the problem with Sword and Sorcery is those first two levels. Colin and I have had a big issue with them. What were those things called that we had to deal with? I forget the little creepy things that you couldn't even attack. They just jumped on you. And
They
stuck
haven't
to you.
played that. They
haven't.
they did the original game with the new characters.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's a little bit different.
that is a little bit different because the
Yeah.
original game was actually kind of fun. With, I mean, I didn't have any issue with the original game. I thought it was actually a pretty fun game.
Yep.
But I've had a lot of issues with the first two missions.
Yeah.
The second one.
Of the second
Yeah.
of
But
Chronicles.
I really think we need to get back to that game, Colin, because I think that third mission's awesome because they're gone. The nests and the like little creeper dudes.
They're gone. They're done.
They're gone.
There's no more. Okay.
No. Neither. Same with Steve. There's no more Steve.
There's no more Steve. Did we lose him?
We lost Steve. Oh, we
Yeah,
only
we
lost him in
did.
Discord. He's
We
still there
had
in
to
real
turn
life.
off the video feed to you guys because the stream was lagging.
Oh, okay. We thought we lost you for good. I was like,
I know.
Yeah, no, we're good.
What do you know about Steve and Kim? Because they're not here.
You guys just carry the rest of the
Weird.
stream. You're fine.
You don't want that. Yeah, I'm telling you right now.
Okay, so that is our favorite revisit. Let's move on to the next category we're going to talk about. Oh, actually, before that, let's talk about the favorite revisit for the community. Do you guys have any guesses of what that could be?
Marvel Champions. Because that
You called that was your game of the year last
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
That
What a terrible choice. Sometimes I make bad choices. It's okay.
That's cut very few and far in between.
Yeah.
Let's go with I'm going to guess that their revisit this year was I can't think of what.
I don't know. What is it?
Steve?
What is it, Steve?
It is Spirit Island.
Oh,
Spirit
duh.
Island. That's a
That was
good
like
one.
our number 2 best game of all time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I rated it 13.
Should have been number one.
Nope,
But
I put it
somebody-
like 13, 16, maybe 26, something like that.
Ridiculous. Why am I talking to you? I can't believe I'm sitting next to this guy. Oh, God, get away. Oh, man. Okay.
But yeah, so that
Yeah.
was the favorite visit of the community. So thank you guys, you all joined in. And
Yeah.
actually, Snow has a good point because of Jagged Earth, right? That was a huge expansion that came out. It added a lot to that game for sure. It's a great game. Yeah, you guys are saying.
Yeah. So what about Marvel Champions? Was that a 2020 game or when did that come out?
Yeah, it came out 2020. Yeah.
Game of
So,
the
I mean,
year
like-
last year. So I'm pretty sure it's 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure if Peter were here, he'd be like, "That's my game." My game.
Absolutely.
Brainer.
That's absolutely his revisit. He just
That's like saying cars drive on the road.
Yeah.
Not all of them do, dude.
You're
So
right, some
never
are
know.
amphibious. Well,
Yeah.
that's the one that you would think maybe there's a 1% chance you won't pick that.
Okay, that's the 1%. I'll go with that.
Okay, let's keep going. Move on to Hidden Gem. You know what? Let's keep the order going. Let's have Bairnt. Let's see what you picked for your Hidden Gem.
Wait. You know what a hidden gem is?
I knew what a hidden gem is.
all
Ready? You're gonna
Should we
love this
explain
one.
it to everybody else so they know?
That would
Why
be
don't you
helpful.
explain what a hidden gem
Hidden
is?
Gem is a game that not a lot of people probably knew about or were able to play last year, but is actually a really good game, and you should go find a copy if you can.
Boom. Great.
So, I put Unsettled.
Oh, that actually works. I think
You like it? I did the category right.
really good one.
Yes,
like it.
Unsettled is fantastic. And I did a fantastic playthrough for Extra Life with Colin. We played this a few times together. It's absolutely fantastic. I really like the exploration in this game. I like the cooperation. I like the dice mechanics. Everything about this is, well, there's not really dice mechanics, but the ticking of the little turns.
Cubes.
Cube mechanic. Let's go with cube mechanic with pips on them. So kind of like dice, but not dice.
It's close enough.
Cubes with pips.
Wait, no, they call them blocks. That's right. Focus blocks. Okay,
Wow.
they're not cubes. They're not dice. They're blocks.
Focus blocks. So that's a great mechanic. Anyway, I'm a really big fan of this game. I'm looking forward to playing some more sometime. I also have an honorary mention in this one too.
Ooh, let's hear the
Yeah, go
honor.
ahead.
My honorary mention is actually Wild Ascent. I put that as well.
Yep.
Because when I talked about this, not a lot of people knew about this game. It's a really fun, quick, skirmishy little game with actually a really good story tied to it. They've done a really good narrative to this game. And it's quick, and it's not like this 80-hour campaign sprawling over 32 different lands. No, it's just like usually about 8 or 9 different scenarios, and you're done. That's the campaign. And you can play it just as like a 4-parter if you want to, where you just kind of play through 4 turns. You're building up your settlement. It's just a really light, fun game to play. It doesn't take long to do, which is why I really like it. And the miniatures are pretty cool looking too.
Yeah, those ones are cool.
Yeah.
Cool. What's Ghost Betwixt?
Oh yes, that was
I have
Twisted
a
J. He was
question.
mentioning Kim's question as a question about Ghost Betwixt because that was Twisted J's comment on. I assume Hidden Gem
Yeah.
was his Hidden Gem. So yeah,
That'd be
I have
new
not
to me.
played. You played the one, Colin? I think you have.
I have not.
No, I have it here. I didn't put it as a hidden gem because I haven't played it, the real original version yet. It just came out. I got my copy just a little while ago, but I played like the production copy and I played the Kickstarter copy. So I guess you could count those as I played them, but I didn't want to include it in 2021 because it just came out and I'm not really many people have had a chance to try it yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But it is a great game. I enjoyed the Kickstarter and the production copy. Loved it.
Cool.
He's gonna play it soon.
Oh my gosh, it's coming in. Stay on Lord of the Rings. Go. Stay in your aliens world.
Okay, Colin, you're up. Let's talk about your hidden gem.
Yeah, so mine is actually relatively new, aka very new. I just did a playthrough. Actually, just came out today. It's called Tales from the Loop, the board game. It is actually really fun. It works. I'm impressed how well it works. Multiple players, especially with 3 to 4 players. A lot of games at 3 to 4 players can kind of slow down. It can, especially with cooperative games when you have to talk all together and figure out what you're doing. The game, you have a time mechanic where you all have 6 time cubes and you play simultaneously. So I can move here to then potentially help you to do solve one of these rumors, and you have different scenarios that you're doing, and they've got these your kids. And so because you're kids, you have to still go to school, you still have to take care of a chore, and you have to be home for dinner or your parents aren't happy with you. But at the same time, you're out there checking out rumors, you're hacking into machines. Yeah, the theme is fun. The gameplay is fun. My kids really like it, and I like it. And I've played it with adults. So my wife and I've played it, each controlling 2 kids, and it was a lot of fun. It was, you can bump up the difficulty so it can still be good for just adults. And the scenarios are all quite different. So yeah, I really like it. If you like cooperative games that you can play with your kids, but you can also play it with adults, and you've got that everyone's having their turn simultaneously, highly recommend it. That is Tales from the Loop, the board game.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have a question on that actually from buddy Dan here. He has a question: how replayable are those scenarios? 5 always seems too few. Like I just got into it and there's none left.
Yeah, great question. So the first thing is that there's actually 6. There's 5 scenarios, and then there's the 1 sandbox scenario. And this is what I'd say about these scenarios. Kind of think of it like Pandemic, where you know how Pandemic, you have one goal when you play that game is to cure all the diseases, right? And you play that, and you can play that over and over and over again, and that's your one goal. That's like a scenario. Then you could actually go to a different scenario and then play that one over and over again. First of all, there are branching paths, but second of all, things are going to come out differently based upon the rumor cards that show up. You always have a specific set of rumor cards that are for that adventure that or scenario that you're doing, but then you'll also have seeded in general ones, and those might change the game up and change what happens. And then there's branching paths within that. So if I'm doing really well, I might go one way, or if I'm not doing very well, I'm going this way. Or if I hack this machine versus that machine, or if this machine moves to this area, it changes it up. So I would say each scenario at a minimum you could play 3 to 4 times, no problem. But really, I think of it more like Pandemic, where I could play the same scenario, or I could play General Pandemic over and over again, and you're still having a different experience by where the cubes are on the board and where the things are done, but those actions will be the same. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, and Twisted J had another comment quick about that. It says he thinks there's a sandbox mode in it, he believes.
Yep. So actually the scenario that I did on the channel was the sandbox mode. I didn't even know that. But yeah, you can increase or decrease the amount of insight you need to have. You've got complication cards you can put in, and then there's like 15 or 20 of them, I think. And so every time you play, those are going to change it up. So you have that on top of the 5 scenarios as well.
Excellent.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, let's keep going. Oops.
Hi, Henry.
Yeah, welcome, Henry. Glad you made it. Okay, Kim.
All right,
you are up.
Hidden gem, which I don't really know how hidden this is, but for me, based on the relatively small grouping of games that I've played, I had Tiny Epic Pirates on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes.
That's
Okay. Good. So Steve has, all the little Tiny Epic games, and he was like, "Well, I got to get this one." And this one I liked, I think, probably more so than most of the other Tiny Epics. because it feels like it's a, I don't know, thicker game. There's more there.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Because I thought as soon as I did that, you're gonna get that double sound.
Yes, for sure. And then there's a lot of good hidden gems out there, but I'm going to jump into mine real quick because mine honestly is Tiny Pick Pirates as well. Oops, that's not how you do it.
Seriously, you guys both picked the same one. That's awesome.
That's
Yeah, we
pretty
did.
good.
So this game, I love
Tale of Seven Thieves.
adventure games. They're so much fun, and I like the open world nature of it. And this one has this rondelle, and it ties into a meat. Like it actually adds some decent amount of meat to the game for how small it is and what you don't expect. And the other thing I like about it is I love Pirates theme, but we're cooperative players.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes in pirating games, it's like, oh, I'm going to sink your ship, I'm going to steal your loot and stuff like that, and it doesn't feel great, right? When I do that with other people,
You're like,
I
oh, I'm
regret.
sorry.
I want to be a nice pirate, And Tiny Pick Pirates lets me do that, which is awesome. So I really enjoy that because like if you get attacked, basically the other person gets a bonus, but you don't really have any negative effects yourself. In fact, you might get a bonus to help you in the future. It has a lot of fun things you add in there, like ghosts and stuff like that. So yeah, this one was a big plus for me for Hidden Gem.
Yeah. No, Snow, you're right. It is a box that's like this big. It's tiny, for real. So
It is very tiny.
it's deceptive on how good sometimes I think, you get a really small box or a small game. You're like, well, how great is this? There's not a lot to it. Well,
Right.
This one I think kind of proves the point where you can't always judge a game by the box itself. So
I also think that the games Tiny Pick series have gotten better over the years too. Like I feel like the later games are getting better and better as you keep going.
Yeah.
So this one is one of the later ones in the series, and yeah, I think it's true.
yeah, I don't know. Dan has a solid joke.
Oh yeah, the footprint is epic, which is true, right? I know a lot of people say, well, it's not an epic experience, but like honestly, like when you unpack it, it takes up a big portion of your table for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, no, their videos are freezing. I'm not sure what's going on, but at least the audio still.
Yeah, the audio works.
Let's try this.
Sorry.
That's
I got a
good.
plan. We're gonna do this.
It's all right.
So I've been trying to fix it on the fly too. So
Leave that part off. Yeah.
okay,
Did
so
we lose them?
Oh, they turned off their cameras.
Oh, their cameras are on.
Yeah, we're gonna try and reset. You can still hear us, right?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just randomly show up. We're kind of like elves. Appear and disappear.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So next one, let's move on to get into the negative side of things.
Oh, boo.
Oh no, actually, hold on. What am I doing? I gotta do the
fans.
community one.
The community ones.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about the community votes? What do you think is the hidden gem?
I'm just gonna stay up in a green screen now.
That's fine.
Oh, hidden gem. I'm gonna go with
Yes,
probably
Dan.
not
Okay.
Marvel Champions this time.
Yeah, I would say probably not. Not any of the FFG games. Come on.
Hidden gem's got to be probably one of the hardest categories. I'm gonna say the Ghost Betwixt because a lot of people were talking about that one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm trying to think of what.
It's one that we hear a lot about on our Discord server specifically.
Then it's the ghost game.
It's not the ghost game.
It's not the ghost game.
I don't know.
Nope. The community has chosen Bullet as the hidden gem.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's Mike's game of the year.
Oh, the new one. I was thinking of like the old.
You have to hold your breath on that one.
No, you haven't played this one. It's a shoot 'em up game. That's how you say.
It's hidden in Mike's closet.
Yeah, exactly. It's in Mike's closet. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, basically you've got these bullets coming at you, and then you're trying to do patterns with each character to remove them from your board, almost like a Tetris type style game.
Okay.
And then you're trying to, if you're playing co-op, you're using those to attack the boss and defeat the boss and win the game. It's very puzzly. And all the characters play very differently, and actually all female characters too, which is really cool.
It's a better game.
Yeah. So that one was the hidden gem.
It's very quick.
It is
too. Yeah.
No, I've never won.
When you
I've been one with my wife yet.
digging into the bag.
It's the best experience of all time. I just have never won with my wife, and it's one of those games where it's very like it's another Robinson Crusoe for her because we tried a few times to win, and we just no. just got annihilated.
Yep.
I swear, Bairnt somehow just makes it extra hard whenever you play with Robin.
I
Amazing.
not on purpose.
I
Really, not on purpose.
And yeah, Dan, you're right. The rare game with co-op and competitive fully fleshed out, which is true. Like I think they did a great job with making that game work in all the different modes for sure. It does well.
Is Bairnt Stevie in the game?
Not this time. I still can't win.
Yep, making the game harder. So,
What we got next?
That came
all right,
from,
let's keep going. Biggest disappointment. That's what we have next.
biggest
So-
disappointment.
Biggest disappointment. Is it,
Alright.
who's
You
first?
can't pick
First,
me.
I hate you.
No, I'm not going
My
to say Steve.
biggest
I'm sorry.
disappointment that I have for last year is that Colin won't borrow me Unsettled.
I totally understand that. That's on me. That was amazing, Bairnt. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna sink down in my chair now.
No, it's true. It was a fun game. I played it with him. I haven't had a chance to get it because he and his wife are having a great time playing it together. They want to do all the planets, all the different scenarios. But he has assured me after he's done, he's gonna let me borrow, which would be
I
pretty
promise.
fun. For real though, I do have one biggest disappointment. I actually was kind of disappointed with the Chronicles of Drunagor. Was my disappointment. Mainly, I was going between two different games, and one of them I took off the list because it wasn't disappointing because of how the gameplay was. It was disappointing because of what I was expecting from the gameplay. Where this one is disappointing because of the gameplay. And maybe it's because we got going into that long side quest that really didn't increase our character too much and just gave us a couple extra items and we lost focus of being able to level up and seeing new things for our characters. And maybe it's because I'm just a horrible D20 roller, and it really irks me when you go up there and do like 10 damage and then you do no damage. And to me, the AI just needed more. I needed more from it than
There
just
was
like
no AI.
going towards something and doing this much damage, and that's it. I kind of was hoping there'd be a little bit more difference in what they're doing and things, but every AI was pretty much the same. So I know there's a new part coming and there's more coming, and maybe there's going to be additions to make this game resolve some of these issues. We'll see. But from what I've played so far, a little disappointed in that one.
Okay.
Yep.
And I need to get unsettled.
Easy unsettled. Yes.
It's totally on me.
You're having too much fun.
I am. I know. I'm sorry. And I, you guys, I don't think have played Chronicles of Drunagor, right?
We have not. We have not.
Yeah. Okay. So I have, and I would definitely echo a lot of what Bairnt has said. I mean, there's a lot of really cool. I feel like the game is about this close from being amazing. The cube placement for your characters. Oh my gosh! And you've got your red is your melee, and your blue is your range, and so which one do you want to use for which things? If I block with this one, then I can't attack with it. It's such a cool idea. And then you do all this stuff, and then you roll a d20.
Yeah.
And then you've got these 3 levels, and you'd think that would do something, and it really doesn't. It was. I felt like it was so close to being awesome. It's a very typical Kickstarter, I would say, where there's some really good ideas flushed with some really not great ideas slammed together. And so hopefully with the expansion and everything, it'll be a little bit better. But I still think it's good. And it wasn't my disappointment of the year, but it was not as good as what I was hoping.
Yep, that's fair. So, Colin, you want to go on to your... Oh, actually, we did have a quick question, or what comment I want to call out there. Dan mentioned his disappointment was the Fantasy Flight X-Men game, which was Insurrection? Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I really wanted to love that game, but no.
It was going to be so cool until you played it, and then it wasn't so cool.
You didn't
Yeah.
know, Colin.
I've been asked to borrow it. You said no.
No.
I'm just giving it to
I said
you.
you don't
have
even
Mike
want to
do
borrow it.
No.
You don't want to borrow it. I gave it to Mike so he could borrow it.
So you can,
Mike can play bad games.
That's
He plays them in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how he
That's
plays
true,
games.
that's true.
Done. So
and here's my review.
exactly. Hey, come on.
Okay, Colin, you're up. What's your biggest disappointment?
Okay, so I feel kind of bad about this, especially because you guys have been talking about it. But my biggest disappointment. So, if anyone knows from the One Stop channel, I did the entire Sword and Sorcery campaign with the side quest all the way up to the dragon, the 4 quests with the dragon fight. And so I was super excited about Ancient Chronicles, and it just kind of let me down. I got it. We played it together, Bairnt and I, and it just did not click for me. It felt it felt like they didn't make the game any better. They just made it more fiddly and more annoying instead of having it. I was hoping it would have a lot of things that would make the game more streamlined and make it feel a little bit more up to date because it felt like a more dated game. And to me, it just went the wrong way. So I actually have sold my copy. Bairnt's got his. I'll play it with him if I really want to. But
Your plan's mission 3.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm kidding. Of course, I'll play Mission 3 with you. But for me, unfortunately, that was the one that I was so excited for. So that was my biggest disappointment. Was that I was excited. I wanted to do this whole campaign, and I've had no interest in doing Chapter 3. So, yeah, except for Bairnt, who keeps telling me we need to play it. So that's me. That was mine.
Yeah, I'm curious because we both played this game, but we played the original campaign with all the new rules, and you guys played the new campaign with. Was it just all the new stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, we only played with the new stuff.
And I really think they missed their mark on those first 2 missions. They are just so bad. Honestly, they really are. You're going against these things that if you kill them, they hurt you. And then these other things that they just instantly appear and run up and stick to you, and you can't do anything about it, except for like just using points to do it. You're not really even rolling dice. You're not doing the attacks. You're not being your character, which really, really irked me. But I did look at what the third mission has to do with it, and it looks like they're getting rid of those 2 things. I don't know why they even put them in there. Maybe it was because
the Venoms. Because you ran into them, the little guys that run up and jump on you.
Because you're spending actions to literally just remove things from your board that then you put back on. But you know what that means is that you're doing absolutely nothing on your turn. So you would move, you would then spend an action, your combat action, to remove this thing from you, and then that's pretty much all you're doing. Especially at level 1 and level 2, you don't have 2 combat actions or 2 regular actions. So it just felt so like an old game.
Yeah.
It
felt dated.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a fresh experience. And that's what I was hoping to have with the game. I was hoping that they were going to take the sword and sorcery that I liked, but then bring it into kind of a newer, and I should have realized, I mean, the game is 2 years after the time the Kickstarter happened. So they were still 2 years back from their development. But to me, I just don't have interest in going back to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, because we ran into those Venoms much later, not early in the campaign, so that could be a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because we only randomly come across them because of the setups we have. So, that's
okay.
interesting.
And you don't have a nest that's spawning like multiples of them every turn, so you could have like 2 of them on you, or something like that.
But
yeah,
we did run into the problem with the AI because the enemies are a lot more difficult than the original ones, and so that we died a lot in that game.
We did die.
It was very difficult.
You need
So-
a healer. I mean, you do need a healer. And they try and push that.
Because I played the first campaign with just two heroes without a healer. And we
With
did
lots
fine.
of bandages. You just had lots of
Correct.
bandages.
We just buy lots of bandages. It's fine.
Yeah, just strap it around, maybe on your face.
Exactly.
You're done. It's
So-
just Steve with just little things all over his face.
He's just a mummy walking around.
But yeah, it's interesting. So at least for us, I do plan to get back to this, but I'm waiting for the rest of the content to come because we're at the point where we'd only play the old content. I want to get the old content with the new content going to Act 2.
Say content one more time.
Content.
Okay.
Having too much fun.
Yes.
To do, right? Just have fun.
Okay. Kim, you are up. with
Oh, well, Snow asked, don't you play the healer all the time?
I do,
Typically,
but
yes, but for some reason, when we were playing our campaign, he was like, we're fine. And that was not.
It's his
Good
thing.
plan.
For sword and sorcery, he wants to prove, which I understand because it's Steve. He wants to
Yeah.
prove that you can do it without a healer because everyone says that you have to have a healer. So I
He
think
wants
that's
to defy everybody.
well, I did it in our other campaign.
Yeah, but
without
that
healing.
was
So-
the first set.
Sam. Content.
So, all right. Well, for me, my biggest disappointment was actually Chronicles of Crime. Sorry, yeah, do the big reveal. But and I don't know. I think it's more of a fact that I wanted to like it, and it was the theme that I just couldn't get into, and that I think is more of my own fault. And then I just felt like it was a little repetitive in itself because you're using the app to find clues, and then you can talk to the people. but there's no clear direction. But that's the point. You're engrossed in this environment, and you're the one that's supposed to figure out. So maybe it's speaking to the fact that I'm not a very good detective, but I think it was just the fact that I wanted to like it, and it's just there's a reason that we don't have themes like this on our shelf. So it was a good learning experience.
I mean, you being not a good detective is true, because I remember distinctly
Oh
in
my
college, I bought her a gift.
Yes.
And instead of hiding it from her, I literally put it on her desk, out in plain view.
Plain sight, a gift wrapped box on my desk in my room, and he's like, "I got you a present. All right, where is it? Oh, just go get me my water bottle. I want a drink."
It was right next to it.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it at all.
Nope.
That's amazing.
But yes, no. I honestly I had the same experience. I felt like it was a lot of scanning, and we played Talmor as well, and that was a very different experience for us. Like I much prefer the scanning in that game than this one. And this one did miss the mark for me as well.
Yeah. So, but again, I don't think it's a bad game. It's just
not a bad game.
Not for me.
Yeah.
It's interesting. This actually, Chronicles of Crime, the original one, when we did a Game of the Year one year, I actually brought that to the table and said, like, hey, something we didn't talk about is something that disappointed you. And I actually said Chronicles of Crime disappointed me.
Yeah.
I was not impressed with that game.
I have avoided it since the first one.
Yeah.
The first one, I just couldn't, like you guys have said, you spend so much time taking pictures of all these things,
Scanning with your phone. Scanning with your
like,
phone.
wait, what does this even do? And then you had the one where you put the goggles on,
Yeah.
right? And you're supposed to look at it, and it was 3D. It wasn't working for us. So, very interesting to hear that we're not the only terrible detectives that you guys are.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I figured it out. It just was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Snow's comment. What is what's Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective? What is that? Have you heard of that one?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that is one where it's set mysteries to solve.
Like read.
Yeah, you have to go through and like read newspapers and stuff like that, and you move around the board, and you have so many action points, and basically you're trying to solve the mystery before and rank yourself to Sherlock Holmes and how well he did, which is like impossible because he's just ridiculous at the game,
Yeah.
right? So
That's cool.
right, exactly. But yeah, that one, the theme wise, I think you'd like it, but maybe not. I'm not sure about the gameplay.
No.
Yeah, it's cool in theory.
Yeah.
I played the first one and got rid of the rest of the series because it was just too slow.
Yeah.
And you have to be really okay with not having direction, and I'm not good with that. As my wife would tell you, I'm not good. If I don't know what I need to do, I'm like, I don't know what to do, and so
Then you
that's how I
just
feel.
go off and do something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you go off in the wrong way, and then you get frustrated because you're not looking in the right spot. Yeah. So if you love that type of thing, it's a great game.
For sure. Okay, move on to my biggest disappointment. This one, I honestly don't think it's a bad game. I really don't.
We're so nice.
I know, but the thing is, it has all the elements that I should absolutely love. I love Civ games, and I love deck building, and based upon that, you should probably guess what it is already. And that is going to be Imperium, right?
Oh, you like that one?
I love that one. He's so wrong, but it's okay. We can all be wrong on a game or two. So it's all right.
It just I played it with my brother too, because I played solo and I played with my brother. And when I played with my brother, it just felt like at some point we just stopped talking. We were just playing our own game and stuff, and it just. I'd rather do something else. I'd rather like engage with whom I'm playing. I'm there to spend time with my brother, not to sit around and look at his thing while he's sitting around and look at his thing. And even solo,
Crazy.
So I want to try this more. I'm not, but currently right now between deck building and Civ, I wanted to absolutely love this, and I just didn't love it. So.
Hey Sam, you're not alone with your destinies. I love Destinies.
There we go.
I
gave him my copy.
Yeah, he gave me his copy. And then Mike actually sent me the expansion because we love it. We can't get enough. The theme is amazing. I love the dark theme in that game, and the fact that they actually have characters from history in the game is awesome. And you get to talk to them and like interact with them, and you're trying to complete those quests, and you don't really know what you're doing, but you're trying to figure it out. And when you finally do, you're like, oh. And then you go do it, and it's awesome. I love everything about the game. So you have a Destinies fan here. Don't worry, Sam. I'm here.
1 of 4. 25%.
That's why
Batting 250. It's not great.
Should have made it a hidden gem. Should have made it my hidden gem.
That's a hidden gem.
Sure it is.
Destiny's not a hidden gem. It was sold out. They were trying to sell more of them. Okay.
Oh,
I just have to say, in
diamond in the rough.
Imperium, I totally get you, Steve. I think getting into the game is a challenge because the rule book is a guideline, not an actual rule book. It doesn't teach you the game. It just has the rules on there, and then you're expected to know how to play. Okay. Right. The second thing is if you don't enjoy watching your own engine and that's the only part that you enjoy, you're not going to love the game. Because you're right, when especially playing competitive, especially playing with maybe two people competitively, you're going to do a lot of sitting around and waiting. But man, solo, I just can't get enough of that game because the AI is quick, easy. Once you get that chart down, you'll memorize it in about 3 rounds, and you know what the AI cards are going to do when you flip them, and it's so cool to then build yours, and you're trying to race it and beat it, and then all the different civs. I mean, they're just so cool. I mean, you've got the Utopians, you've got the Arthurians. The Arthurians are one of my favorites. You've got the Qin Dynasty. It's just, and each one plays so incredibly different. So if you enjoy deck building and you're willing to put in that upfront time, and you're probably going to play solo max 2-player, I do still think it's a good game, but I understand, Steve, why you didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying it a few more times, but I don't.
There's so many games.
It took me out of the game, I guess, and I like to be immersed, and I just felt like I was going through.
What took you out of the game, Steve? What part of it took you out of the game?
The mechanics of it. I felt like I was just doing the engine and not necessarily like I get like the the Arthurians who go on quests, very cool thematically, but like mechanically what I'm doing, it's just moving cards around. It doesn't have a strong link for me on what I'm doing in that game, for example. It's just how I was feeling while I was playing it. When it comes down to it. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad game, but it's just between being a deck builder and a civ game, those are two things I love, and I should love this game, and I just don't.
Yeah, but I think the other thing that you touched on was the fact that the co-op isn't actually co-op, and that like you play games.
It's only solo.
Well, you're talking about playing with your brother.
Yeah, but it's competitive.
Okay, so competitively. Yeah. So playing at the table with somebody, that's a big thing for him. It's kind of like, old Nintendo 64 when you could have a couch party and play video games together. It's not a thing anymore, and it drives me crazy, but yeah.
Let's move on to the community one. So any thoughts on this one?
You're saying Destinies, and they're wrong.
For disappointment. What's a game that was super hot and then just dropped it like it's hot? I'm just trying
dropped it like it's hot?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. I'm really terrible at this, especially because you have to look at 2021. I'm trying to keep the 2021 thing in there.
And my favorite is you're looking at my game shelf. You think disappointment.
Actually, that was actually an okay game.
Let's see what Bairnt has. Do this.
Looking over at the game cabinet.
What game is that was terrible? Madara. That one's terrible. Kingdom Death. There we go. That's another one.
All right, I'll just chime in here because honestly, like going through the community list, it was almost all unique answers. Almost all unique answers, with 2 exceptions. There's only 2 exceptions that the game is picked maximum twice.
I bet it's Descent.
No, not Descent. It was Dinosaur World and Destinies was the other one mentioned.
It was Destinies. Well, it's because it said that it had solo in there, and the solo game was terrible for Destinies because you had to do everything exactly right to do the chapters. So you'd have to do it over and over again, and then once you beat it, you couldn't even play it competitively because then you knew the story. So that to me is a poor solo experience, right? Because so I could see that being a disappointment.
There is one caveat to that. I didn't lose in solo, and I guess I was just playing, and
But you only played the intro mission.
Correct.
Come on, the intro mission you can't.
The other thing is that every person has different things they have to do, so you can pick a different person in a way, and just go down a path that you maybe didn't try with the other guy, and experience the game that way if you wanted to play it then competitive. You're right. I'm only playing every game, every scenario one time, and the group I'm playing with is great. We get together maybe about every 2 weeks and we play it. So, or not 2 weeks, or about a month or two. And so it's kind of nice. We sit down, we play Destinies, and we enjoy it. We have a good time.
Yeah.
I could see it could be disappointment. Maybe it was just because it was so misleading.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
Okay.
don't know the other game. Dinosaur Land or something.
Dinosaur. It must be.
I'm assuming it's a competitive one. I didn't look it up.
Well,
Admittedly.
I played Dinosaur Island, which was awesome, where you got to
Oh,
basically.
that's
have
what
your
was
own
a sequel to that, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But then I think so. It's a spin-off of that. I think I don't know enough. But yeah, so I haven't played any of those.
Okay. Enough negativity. Let's move on to Game of the Year, the best one, what everyone's waiting for.
Yes.
Okay, let's start off with, let's keep the order going. Bairnt, let's start with you with your Game of the Year.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I'm gonna have Colin read this message right here on Discard.
A discard.
Discard, because I can't even say Discord right.
I had a hard time with the Game of the Year. I didn't feel a lot of strong titles came out. That's what you said.
That's what that was
That's
my
what you
problem.
said for 2021. I have 8 games
Really?
with 7 dimensions of awesome ones. Yeah, no strong titles.
Maybe there's some that I just didn't like. Okay, so the ones I have are the only 2 I could really some really fun games. Don't get me wrong, I had a good time playing games, but I mean, I kept looking back at some of the ones that I had on my shelf, and not too many came out that were just so powerful to me that would instantly hit the table before anything I kind of own more often. Don't get me wrong, a lot of these are still hitting the table. I'm having great fun with them. The 2 I have for Game of the Year are really Descent and Role Player Adventure. One is because I'm loving playing it with my wife. I'm having a great time with it. We're having a blast playing through this game. And Descent, I think it's because I'm playing with Colin. We're having such a great time playing through this game. And I love the board presence and everything about that game. But do those games meet or beat a lot of the stuff I've played in the past? They're hard to say did. Maybe that I might have. According to Colin, I'm playing the wrong game.
He is.
Which could definitely be the problem. Or maybe some of my hidden gems were the ones that maybe I should have put as Game of the Year. Could have been something, because those games coming from publishers that aren't so big might be the ones that were actually really good this year. So, yep.
That was a
Yep.
really good Game of the Year. Way to keep us at the low point, you know?
It's not that they're really good games. It's just it was so hard for me this year. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. You're entitled to your own wrong opinion. That's all right.
I'm like, Game of the Year. I'm going to pick 2. I'm like, okay, fine.
Come on, Kim.
I'm totally kidding.
Okay, what do you got, Colin? Bring it on, man.
Oh, my next.
You got 10 games that are
I-
you'll pull off your shelf before anything else this year.
I'm just kidding. So my Game of the Year, for sure, without a doubt, is Unsettled. For me, and I have Snow to thank for that one, because Snow was talking about it in our Discord, and I found somebody who had one. They sent me a copy, and my wife and I have played it over 20 times at this point. It is absolutely a wonderful game for us because it's adventure-y and puzzly, yet very much replayable in our standpoint. Some people might not feel that way, but I have played all of the tasks on the first planet at least 3 times each, and haven't had a problem, and enjoyed every single one of them. So to me, the experience of going to a different planet and trying to survive on it, and I can't believe I didn't know about this Netflix series called Lost in Space. And so now I'm watching that thanks to Steve and Bairnt, because it reminds me of that now too. I'm like, it's a family lost in space and a random planet. So cool. But yeah, so that was for sure, hands down, my number 1 game. Now I do have a couple that are right behind there that I love. One is, of course, a disappointment of Steve's, and that is Imperium Legends. I absolutely love how that game plays solo, but I don't play it competitively. I've played it twice competitively, and that's it. So I like the solo game of that because it's quick. Oh, it's not quick. The game it lasts a little bit longer, but what I mean is the AI is quick to activate. You're going back to your turn all the time. You know, you're not sitting around waiting for other people to make decisions that generally don't interact with you very much. So for me, the solo game of Imperium Legends is wonderful. And then the final one, my wife and I are on the final adventure of Role Player Adventure. And so just like you, how you were saying you were enjoying that, we are loving it. We sit down every Friday night now. We've been playing it, and we're kind of sad that it's going to be done, but we're to the point where we're ready for it to be done because we're too powerful. So I think we had a little bit of a power creep problem. We have 50 cards in our hand each, and so I can literally change any die to any number to any color any way, anyhow, and add dice. So
I'm gonna go on your adventure, man.
Yeah.
We're getting decimated.
I know. We're definitely not getting decimated. We're the exact opposite. So we have not died. Yeah. Anyways,
I died.
I do feel.
That-
Well, it's because you tried to fight. Never mind. I'm not talking about that. So it's a great game. I really recommend it for couples because it's been a wonderful. My wife and I sit down. We get to basically we're reading a story together with doing little puzzles in the middle of it. It's amazing, and it's super well written. You actually cared about the NPCs. They come back in other adventures. They affect the other adventures. It's really cool. So that's one I can't get enough of either. The only reason I have it not as a game of the year is because once we're done with it after the finale, I'm not going to pull that out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Unsettled, I'd pull that out today and play it.
Good work, Colin.
Yeah. See ya. Awesome games.
Well, I put one as a hidden gem, and I did actually have one.
I'm actually really happy you put Unsettled as a hidden gem. That made my day.
It's a great day.
Literally made my
That's
day.
every time, so good.
You might like that one
So
too.
good.
I'm not sure. I only
think
played it once, though. So
Based on the explanation, like,
Mhm.
yeah, we should try all that.
Mhm.
Because, like, I haven't, and it's funny,
You're not
getting to
gonna
my
get
game of the
it
year. I think I played, 5 new games, 2021 games this year.
Yeah.
So my pool is much smaller than all you guys. So I haven't seen the breadth of everything. But yeah, which is funny because when we get to mine, based on the comments, I'm like, I think I'm gonna get some slack. So, all right, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So that was
That was
Colin's, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's-
yeah.
Lost track of where we were.
You
So
were.
Kim. Oh, actually, before you jump into this, the funny thing is, your game of the year is my honorable mention, and my game of the year is your honorable mention.
Spoiled.
Spoilers
Yeah.
I know which one that is. Can I take a guess?
Ooh, let's
on
hear it.
Kim's.
Which what?
You both in 2021.
He's still gonna put it.
Just U-boat. Doesn't matter. Whatever.
No,
Because
it's
I was
anything,
gonna
yeah.
say yes, but I just couldn't do it.
No, so my game of the year, actually, I love Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, which is funny because people are like, that's terrible. But I think it's because it speaks more to my style.
Yeah.
I'm a simulation player. Those are my go-to PT or PC type games. And then this is a, simulation type game where you're building your engine to save or to terraform Mars. And it's the game where we were playing it and we would lose and I'm not satisfied. So we would immediately go back and try again because I'm stubborn also. And where that's not always the case in every game, which is why, like, my honorable mention, yeah, we lost and I was like, okay, I'm done for the night. We can come back to it later. Whereas Terraforming Mars was like, no, I need a win. I'm not okay with this.
We were up to like 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah, so
just
I
playing
told
this
this-
game back to back to back.
I told this story. It was a Sunday night. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning or something. And I called in sick to work the next day because I couldn't function because we were playing board games into the night.
Wow, that is awesome. What a good reason to call in sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't tell my
Yeah,
boss
it's
what I
like,
was doing, but I was like, yeah, I can't come in today. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my game of the year. My honorable mention.
Don't say it yes.
Oh, Sorry.
Wait. Aries, by the way, both of us over here have played, and both of us over here really like too. And our wives both really like it. So this is awesome.
And don't worry, Kim, you have something in common with my wife. She was determined to win that game. By about 3/4 way through the game, I was like, okay, so now what I'm going to do is, no, you're not. You're going to do this, so we did that.
Do it. We have to win.
No, you can't do that. You got to do this. We did this cube for this. Now, why don't you just play this card? So we can play them. Like, sounds
Love
good.
it. Love it.
So,
Way to go, Robin.
yep, she brought that game.
Bairnt needs that sometimes.
Yep,
Okay.
I get a little sidetracked every once in a while.
I got a plan. No, your plan. No, we're not doing your plan, Bairnt.
That'll happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that game is fantastic. We had a lot of fun with it. And I think my only complaint with it is it's not as cooperative as I would like.
Mhm.
But the game is so good otherwise. Like, I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because we're playing, and like after game 1 or 2, Steve's already like, "Ooh, I want to change this and do this rule and house rule," and I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna Steve it up."
Yep, normal.
Oh, my wife's awesome. She is in the chat telling me that she was not bossy. She was just delegating to me.
Yes.
That's how it is.
Yes,
Not
delegating.
bossy and
She
delegating.
supports him in all ways.
Delegating.
There's no
It's
reason
called good
that
management.
yes, you should always play until you win. That being stubborn is a good thing.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so yeah, that was an excellent game. I was very tempted to list it as my game of the year as well. I didn't because this other game is a game that I want to keep playing over and over again, and the cooperation was very high in this, and I love that aspect. The cooperation, it was exciting games, and that one. I mean, this could come no surprise to people if you know what it is Assassin's Creed. So
That's a new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great game.
yeah,
That's
because
okay.
I love stealth, and this one's got so much cooperation. We had a blast. The last one we barely survived getting out
It's
with
the last
the
turn.
guy
Yeah,
escorting.
so no, we are having a great time in this game. And it's funny because you love stealth and then you're choosing to play with me, which I just swing a mace around and everyone knows I'm there. It doesn't matter. So,
Which I was
Bring it.
which I was surprised about because like I was expecting like, oh yeah, you being very noisy and loud would impede my ability to be stealthy in that game, but the character that is designed that I'm playing with is allowed to do that. I'm allowed to be stealthy even when the alarm is going off, which is fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, so this is mine. We're playing the stream. I keep playing it. I'm not satisfied with only playing this once a week. That's just driving me nuts right now. Like I want to play
It
more.
is. He's like, let's do Sunday streams. There's Tuesdays open. Let's go. Like
Everyday streams,
Every
okay? Yeah.
Every day.
Peter and his Marvel champions, get out of the way. Get out of the way. We're doing Assassin's Creed.
Kick down the list. You get a prime time slot every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, so Snow's mentioning V Sabotage, which I actually still like a little bit more than Assassin's Creed.
I agree.
But again, it's not a 2021 game, so.
Right. Yeah, I do agree. I think V Sabotage is the better game between the two. And we're going to compare them later on in the video for sure, with more detail, but I agree with that.
Yes, Dan.
Don't mention that, Dan!
Again,
No, too soon!
The wife was delegating, and it was more important not to die.
Actually, it's even worse than that, because not only did we not get the last loot box, but that loot box would have pushed us into the next level. We would have leveled up.
Well, you survived, Steve.
Not satisfied. But yes, those are ours. It was your honorary mention, my game of the year, and then your game of the year was my honorary mention. So both fantastic games in our household.
Would you say, I'm just curious, because I'm throwing this out here, the only thing about Terry Ares, we played it a bunch, then we beat it, and Monica hasn't asked me to pull it out again. Now, I did let Bairnt borrow it, but I'm just curious, is it one of those games, though, that you play and you beat and then you put away? Because is it different enough to play it over and over again? I'm just curious what you guys think.
I think you're going to need a cooldown period.
Okay.
I do think that's a real thing. Like, because, yeah, you beat it, and you're going to pick, like, a different, character, or what is that?
Or whatever,
Corporation.
Whatever.
Yep.
And that changes it a little bit, but yeah, I definitely think after you get like a couple wins down, or like even if it's just like, all right, I won it, now I got my high, let me come back to it, later. Yeah, I can see that.
Totally.
Yep. Now the question is game of the year for people.
Descent, obviously.
Descent?
No, I'm kidding. Bullet. No.
Think so?
No.
Mike might have voted 30,000 times.
That's what I was thinking. Is Mike might have convinced people.
I don't. Why do you even ask us? We're just gonna stand
Because
here.
Bairnt, you got it. You got it.
I got it.
Yeah, it's Bullet. Bullet was picked as the game of the year.
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, Bullet. Had to be.
Bullet game of the year. See, I tell you, Mike has brainwashed all of them. Not that the game isn't great. The game actually is really good. It's fun. It's quick. I like it.
Well, look who jumped on right at that moment.
My power. How I should have known.
Yep. See, he came on just when he needed to. He just
know it.
He put in the last.
His ears are burning.
Top, and here he appears.
Bullet. Take that, everybody. Should have known.
Mike is in the comments
You have
now,
to
yeah.
inoculate all the people. It's so true. Bullet's the best. Bullet's the best.
Okay.
I
It
have
is
to
fun.
fully admit
It is
that
fun.
the only reason I got Bullet was because Mike liked it so much. So I am fully on board with that whole thing. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's not my type of game, so I didn't buy it. But I honestly have nothing bad to say about it. It's a great
Yeah,
game.
that's the thing. That's exactly it. There's nothing bad about it.
No.
But I also don't feel like it's one that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's an amazing game, like I had with Unsettled or Role Player Adventure. It was more of a, oh yeah, this is fun. This is cool. I like it. It's quick. I can play it anytime I want. But I just don't really pull it out of time.
Moving on to most anticipated. Bairnt, want to start us off?
Yeah, should I do what I did last year and just name all of them, and then Colin looks at me and wants to kill me?
Yes. Yes.
Did I do that to you last time?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'm only gonna go with a couple. So ones I'm very anticipating or hoping will. Well, I know they're gonna come out, but I'm excited for is first one is Nemesis' Lockdown. I'm really excited to get that one. And then I'm gonna let you do that one, and then I don't even know which one I'm talking about, but I think you're gonna get it. And Aeon's Trespass. I'm really excited for that one. I hope it comes out this year. I would be surprised if it came out this year, but there's a lot. They're doing so much in this game. I get these like updates. They're like, well, we got these. This is like the biggest thing they've ever produced in their entire existence. Talking about the company producing it or whatever, printing it, and all this. I'm like, it's not coming out for like 4 more years. It's gonna be like another Kingdom Death. But Lockdown is going to be coming out, and I'm pretty excited for that one. So I'm just going to go with that one. And that. Oh, and yes, that's right, Steve. Thank you for that one. I totally forgot about that one. And the Gambler's Chest. Speaking of Kingdom Death. Kingdom Death Gambler's Chest is going to be coming out this year. It's a big box expansion for Kingdom Death. He's even said that actually this is like a new game in a box. So I'm pretty excited to see how that plays. And when that hits, Kingdom Death will be coming back to the channel.
Wait, so is that already been kickstarted? So it's supposed to deliver in 2022?
It got kickstarted in like 2016.
Oh,
maybe 18.
okay. I'm so glad I'm not on the Kingdom Death.
No, because it's supposed to be like out like about 9 months after it was done. Ooh, it's been 3 years later. And even it was funny because like last year he actually wrote like, so sorry guys, it's not coming out this year. It's coming out next year. I'm like, really? That you decided to post that in April? That's pretty amazing.
Well, at least he knows.
Yeah, Lawrence is giving crap like Gambler's Chest is never coming out. So.
And that very well could be, but I have faith in Poots, and as does the entire Kingdom Death community. He's one of, like I said, one of the only people that when he pushes things back really far, it's okay because they know they're getting a really polished and perfect product.
Polished, perfect product. Listen
like that
piece. The triple P.
Powerpuff Girls. Wait, that's not. Started with P's.
Marketing, great alliteration. You're good.
Yeah, game. Powerpuff Girl game. They're pretty cool.
Oh my god.
All right, so those are my anticipated games.
Colin, you're up.
Okay, I gotta look to see what
I left you all sworn.
I didn't even have Oathsworn. I assumed you.
Are you kidding me?
I tried to
talk about it because I thought you were going to talk about it.
I tried to pick one that wasn't very common. So actually, I'm giving you a hard time about Kingdom Death. And the one that I put as my main one was one that was kickstarted, I think, in 2018. And it's by Cool Mini or Not, which actually normally...
Oh, I know which one this is. This is the pocket game.
Yes, Trudvang Legends.
Yes.
So I don't know why, but that game just speaks to me with the fact that you are literally... I mean, unless they've changed everything, which they have changed everything, so I don't really know exactly how it's going to work. But I loved the idea that the board actually has pockets for these places that you go on the board. So they're different locations. And as you go there, you're going to affect the environment and you're going to pocket in new cards that's going to change the environment that you're going to. And I think that's just so cool because then all you got to do is fold the map up, put it away. The next time you play it, open it up and it's already there and you already have the changes. And then if you want to start your campaign over, pull them right out of the pockets, you're good to go. So I love that. And it's also a bag building game. You're building your bag, and when you're doing your combat and you're doing your tests and all of your adventuring, you're pulling out runes from a bag, and you can use them to activate abilities, but then you also pull out bad runes that do negative effects. Anyways, I feel like at least the base game is going to be cool. Now, they come out with like 18 million expansions, which is what Cool Mini or Not does. And usually those expansions are not nearly as well play tested and all of that. I mean, Project Elite is a great example. Marvel United is actually one of the unexamples of that because I feel like the expansions made that game. But in general, I feel like the base game of Trudvang Legends should be pretty cool. So I'm super excited for that one. And then my two that I just have as honorable mentions is Primal and Monster Hunter. I actually backed both of those because I'm just super excited about taking on some monsters with you. I think it'll be pretty fun. And those
Sworn
are going to be huge minis. Oathsworn, when is Oathsworn going to come? It's not going to come.
It's going to come out this year, I guarantee it.
Okay.
And I said like all these names, and I left you nothing. Just like I'm going to leave him Oathsworn. I'm going to leave him Frosthaven. I'll leave those.
Oh, I left all those assuming you were going to take them. And so I was like, let's see. I don't think you backed Trudvang Legends.
Nope, I didn't back that one. And look at all the people that didn't either because they're afraid of that game. This quote's my favorite. The one, if Steve can pull it up, is the one where it's we're doing the whole game the year after the Kickstarter.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
That is
Oh,
exactly.
yes.
That's faith.
Yeah, yeah. That is literally what they said. After 8 months, I don't think it was a full year, but it was like 8 months. They go, actually, the game is crap, so we're gonna restart it from the ground up. But I thought that was cool that they actually did that, and they're willing to make that investment in it. And basically, right now, they've said that only the core game has been made. They haven't even looked at how they're gonna do the expansions. So that's why I'm saying, on the expansions. But I still am excited to see what it's like. So that's for me.
I should have said Oathsworn and Frosthaven too.
Well, we'll just put those in. Oathsworn and Frosthaven. Boom, those two.
We don't need to talk about them. They're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, we don't have any
Divinity is
idea.
doing the same thing now. Lawrence mentioned. We doing it?
What?
Yeah. Don't know that.
Divinity
I
is
don't know about that
doing
one.
the same thing. What's Divinity?
I don't know what Divinity is. What's
Divinity?
I don't know.
Well, we'll find
So
out.
bring it up in that.
We're doing great with the knowledge of board games.
Maybe
tonight,
Lawrence
apparently.
can fill us in a
We'll have
little
to
bit.
talk about that on our co-op chat on Saturday morning.
Oh, it's obviously Divinity Original Sin. Which
Oh, Original Sin.
That
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
you know that one?
I know that one. I did not back down.
Oh, I do not know that one.
Oh, it's based on a video game.
Oh, it's probably why I usually avoid the video game ones. You know, like
Yeah.
Bloodborne. They're terrible. So
No. I should make you play that one again without like a camera. I know. I think we'd have a good time.
All right, so I'm looking forward to Isofaron Guard. I think mostly because I know we're going to play that campaign together, and just playing big epic role-playing campaigns is a hoot, and I love it with Steve. I think that's the biggest thing. And then also, this is a surprise for me too, in the sense that this is a bag building token game, and I thought I would hate that, but I don't. So it's like, all right, it's different. It's giving me a little bit of another mechanic to work towards. So yeah.
I actually love this game. This game's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great. It's not my spoiler list. It's not my most anticipated game because
Bad.
well, it's the same thing as last year. Like
Yeah.
last year, it was my most anticipated game, but like it was the year before that too. So like I got to pick a different game. So I've got a different game.
I
on
think
my
there's
most
a
anticipated.
chance this one making it this time because they actually put out their production copy with some of the game in it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we're getting close.
It is. It's
honorable
coming
mention.
next year, almost certainly, honestly, and it's currently slated for quarter two. So it might get pushed back, but
Q4.
this game is awesome.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And then, like, you know, the character building, and there's so much that I haven't seen or been experienced to. Just I'm curious about how that all's going to pan out. So I'm looking forward to it. I do have an honorary mention, which isn't really a full game, but it's the Marvel United X-Men.
Hmm.
That's coming out, and I'm really looking forward to that. Also because our son Caleb loves that game, and it's fun to play with him. So
Marvel Unite is such a fantastic game. We play that all the time. It's so quick, so it's just fun. It's fun to explore that game. I love that one. And
That's really-
the X-Men core, it's changing the system a good amount too. I feel like it's upping the complexity, and it's advancing more from what they did last year or the previous year, right?
Mhm.
They're progressing the system as a whole. So, and the Sentinels, assuming we played it right, I don't know.
no, we probably did not.
Well, I mean, the rules are known except for the health values of the Sentinels. So, I'm feeling pretty confident on it. But that was awesome. I love playing with those Sentinels. So, but good one. Yes, I totally agree with this as most anticipated. And honestly, Colin, I think you're gonna love this one if you like bag building. Like,
I love bag building. I'm super, super excited for it. So
for sure.
Me too.
Okay, that's yours. Let's move on to my most anticipated. So yeah, like I said before, it honestly is Isofaron Guard, but I'm gonna pick a different game because I don't like pick the same game every year. It's
Iridia.
boring.
Iridia.
Yeah,
you
and
guys-
I saw in the comments,
you know
and
him.
you guys guessed already.
You already
Yes,
know.
it is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh,
This-
I don't know if it's coming out
This
year.
game is amazing. I loved it. I did not want to stop playing this game.
I know.
You had a lot of fun with this one too,
I
right?
had a lot of fun with this one. I think a part of it was also your character reads for the NPCs. Just you get into it.
It was
It's fun.
fun. But yes, V&V is being mentioned a lot. Valor and Villainy, which is also an awesome game. I'm excited for that one coming out too. And another game, V&V, Velocity Vanguard. There's a lot of V&V games this year. There's a lot of games I'm excited for that are
Mhm.
coming out. But if I had to pick one, it did wind up being Iridia for me, for the most anticipated. So I talk about many games, yes, no. Well, there's a lot of them, and like some of them are, I feel like get looked over a lot. So I want to bring that to attention. Like the one that really surprised me. We didn't do a category for most surprise, but the biggest surprise for me was absolutely Orange Shell Overcome the Dutch Resistance.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that
it's-
was fun.
Yeah, it's it's a first time designer, I believe. I think it's a first time designer with this game, and it is excellent. Like almost no downtime. The scenarios are varied. The player powers are unique and stuff. It like checks the boxes of everything we want to do with it. It's really really good.
Yep.
Yeah, Stray you mentioned too. Orange Shell Overcome is so good. It is so good, Stray. It's so much fun. Like that one is one of those ones flying underneath the radar for sure.
Dude, this is
And-
one of the problems I have was the fact that I see all these really cool games anticipating for next year, and then I had to pick a game of the year this year, and I'm thinking, I want to play all these ones that are coming out, and all the ones that came out this year, I'd rather play the ones coming out than the ones that were out this year. That's why it was so hard for me to pick a game of the year this year.
I think I'm the same boat. Like I think I'm more like really excited for upcoming games a little bit more than ones we're playing now. Not saying the ones we're playing now are bad at all. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun.
No, that's the thing. None of these are bad. I'm really enjoying role player adventure. I'm enjoying Descent with Colin. Even some of the ones that came, Bloodborne. I still enjoy playing Bloodborne. These games that came out this year. But I'm looking at this list. Lockdown guaranteed to come out this year. Most likely, Guard is coming out this year. Please, Oathsword come out this year. Frosthaven is probably going to be coming out this year. I mean, these are big games that I've been waiting for, and if some of them, of course, I know we've had things have been delayed all the time. Always get delayed, but these to me we're going to be more excited to play than the stuff that came out this year, really. And it's not saying these things are bad. I just think these big power games are about to come out, and I think it's going to be a big time for games next year.
Absolutely.
Cool. Very cool.
What are you guys' guesses for the community most anticipated before we get too off topic here?
Most anticipated, Bullet 2. That was amazing.
Good guess. Good guess.
The brainwash that has been following the workshop Discord channel will continue.
I'm going Iridia. I think Iridia was a big hit.
Oh, sworn.
Nope. Two games tied. Isofaring Guard was one of them, and the other one was Earthborn Rangers.
Oh, Earthborn. I even backed that one and totally forgot about it.
What game is that?
That's that one that's it's not a living card game, but it's kind of similar. You've got these cards and your
That one looks
and your
really
Rangers going out.
Yeah.
I actually just
I called Colin. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna back this game." Did it?
I already did it.
I'm like,
I already did the pledge manager. So, yeah,
you do it before it just came out. He's like, "No, but I already got it."
faster than you. I'm faster than you.
Boom. I would lose any gunfight to Colin. Wild West. Oh, not gonna make it. I better put some tin in my shirt.
You better be ready, man. Bullets. Just walk sideways everywhere.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of games I'm really excited for. Oh, the other one I talk about a lot on the channel, of course. Union City Alliance. Oh my gosh, deck builder, superheroes, and it's got this tactical element. I'm really curious what you're gonna think of that one because I know you love deck building superheroes, but I'm not sure about this. We'll see. I think you're gonna like it.
I hope so, because a part of me, I know when we were talking about all the Marvel and all the superhero stuff that was coming out, it's starting to get really saturated, if not already. And this is another one that we're adding to our collection, so we'll see.
For sure.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Blacklist game.
Superhero one.
What's the superhero one called now that I can't even remember?
Hour of Need.
There you
Yes,
go.
Hour of Need. I mean that might come this year. And so that's another one. Another superhero game. There's just a lot of them right now.
Might get made and take a year and a half to get over here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then Marvel Zombies as well. Zombicide.
Cool.
Marvel Zombicide.
I might actually pick that up. That sounds kind of cool.
Is that the first time you heard of that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I do a co-op chat with this guy named Steve.
Okay,
and
he
tells
keeps you
me
up to
about
date.
this. I still need to get faster on the draw than you because they'll talk about some game like, oh, I should back that one. So at work, I'm like, Colin, I think I already did.
Yeah, and Twisted J mentioned Marvel Dice Throne as another one.
8
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning, huh?
Dude, we get up at 6 a.m. at the Degnan house. I'm already back in my games by 6:01.
Yeah, you're set. Alarm goes off. It's game.
Oh yeah, Snow mentioned Keep the Heroes Out. That I really like that one too. That's one I know Snow and I like a lot.
the heroes
And then
out.
Force
Yeah,
of Brad
that's
Gus.
another really good one.
So there's so many good games coming. So many good games.
Do you guys know how many games you have come? I have 41 that are coming.
I'm not going to say because my wife's listening.
Oh,
Yeah, Steve.
I actually don't know how many we're coming.
That's a bad sign.
It is a bad sign.
That's a not paying attention to the budget sign.
She's just upstairs, you know? Oh, that's funny. Steve and Kim, do you guys know? I didn't hear because we were laughing over here.
Oh no, I have no
He
idea.
doesn't know.
Well, the other thing is, I feel like there's a lot of games slated to come out this year that just got pushed to next year. And I feel like there's games that were planned to go out next year that are still planning to come out next year. So I feel like next year's going to be like tons of games is arriving for everyone.
Oh, Burn Cycle. I forgot about Burn Cycle too. That's another one that I backed that I'm excited for.
How about Vampire the Masquerade?
No, didn't do that one. You did.
Yeah.
You took care of that one.
Anything that says vampires in it, I got. Don't worry.
I'll let you in.
Yeah. I learned something special. Oh, no, you lost yours. Our green screens are falling from the sky. This is what you call it. Here's the Bairnt space.
I like
no
the
longer in Lord of the Rings.
No.
Yeah.
Here. The two guys should be so off.
Bairnt, I like your wife's response here. I backed that a long time ago. Bairnt's favorite thing to say every time a large box gets delivered.
Yeah, that's not new.
It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. Well, but actually, it's somewhat true. I mean, usually you back these like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah. The only one I got a gambler's chest from that show would be like, no, I backed that ages ago, man.
That is true.
It is, but I backed that thing. Too far.
Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for joining. It was a blast.
It was. I learned that I have to increase my visibility to all these other games because you guys are listing things. I'm like, well, we don't what? So
There's just
step
too
up my
many.
game.
There's too many. You're talking about games that we don't know. I mean, that's the thing. There's too many games and not enough time to play them all.
That's what comes down to it.
Yeah. Well, that's why there's 6 guys on the channel. You all get to spread it out. So that's good.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you joined on this too because you've been a big part of the channel this year.
Again, you just wanted me to play more games, so here
Well,
I am.
that too.
It's so fun. So thanks so much for joining Steve and doing this with him.
Yeah.
Shh, no, don't let it leak out.
No.
I gave from you.
Can't. What's behind this green screen?
No, don't show. Oh man, but that's fun. Cool. But yeah, that's going to end this Game of the Year chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's plenty more coming this week, including podcasts. Do look out for that. More of that type of content.
Oh, we have too much fun over here.
But the next thing on this channel specifically is going to be Marvel Champions. So normally it's on Friday nights, but because of the holidays, Peter's going to be playing tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that one.
Got a question from Sam real quick before we go.
Does anyone remember Lords of Hellas?
Yes, I did not back that.
I did not.
Well, I don't remember.
I remember the
back it
game,
up.
but I don't.
It had a lot of minis and stuff, but I don't think I was interested.
Wasn't it
in games.
competitive? I don't remember.
It might have been.
Oh, Words of Play. It's by a company. I think that was in Wild
Was it
Ascent.
by a company?
Does it say one's in Wild Ascent?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Look.
Anyway.
I have
Cool.
failed.
That's fine. It's been a long stream. It's been fun though, guys. So
Yeah.
Oh, and I figured out that the Gambler's Chest was started January 7th, 2017.
Oh yeah.
5 years ago.
Wow.
2017.
Wow.
And
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I have faith.
That's commitment, Bairnt. You are
Like one
committed.
thing that he has.
Like George Michaels, I've got to have faith.
All right, we got to cut this stream before it gets crazy, guys.
Excellent.
So,
All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next stop.
all right. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Take care.
See ya.